Greetings. Welcome to Growth Hacking Show, where we have experts like my guest today, real estate investors, presidents, CEOs, coaches, consultants come and share their experiences so you can learn from their mistakes so you don't have to do those mistakes. And plus, they are going to share their success secrets. In case you don't know me, my name is Mohammed Siddique. I am your host for the Growth Hacking Show and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. Today, I have a very special guest, no other than Cynthia Calhoun from Atlanta, Georgia. So we are in the same city virtually.
Hello.
And she is a real estate investor. She just started not long ago, almost like 18 months, less than 2 years. And of course, after getting the proper education in the real estate. And here's what happened. After 18 months, she has already fired her boss. Okay, that's not a big story. Big news is she is working on how to fire her husband's boss. Can you imagine the power of my guest? So she is not only firing, it's like a two. I don't want one. I want to fire my own boss and also my husband's boss.
Absolutely.
She is on the mission to do that. How she has done it, all that. We are going to learn all that from her. Let me tell you, in 18 months, she has got five properties. Some buy and hold, like means she bought it and now she is holding and getting monthly cash flow, rent, positive cash flow, and building wealth as properties values have gone up. And plus some she is wholesale, so made one-time money and blah. We are going to ask a lot more on that. Please join me to give a warm welcome to my guest, Cynthia Calhoun. Cynthia, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that warm welcome and great introduction. Thank you, Siddique.
Thank you. Cynthia, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to get into real estate?
Well, I was all alone actually when I got inspired. Initially, I was upstairs in my office. And sometimes I need to get out. So right now I'm in my kitchen downstairs because I just need more space. I'm a little bit claustrophobic. But that particular day I was my office overlooks my backyard. My husband and I use the fourth and fifth bedrooms in our home. It's just the two of us for our offices with the Jack and Jill connecting bath. And his faces the front, mine faces the back, overlooking just nature. Sometimes deer families will come up in my backyard. And this particular day, I was sitting there watching the deer, and I had just been laid off for the first time ever in my life. And I was with Sprint when Sprint and Nextel merged. And I was one of the 4,500 that did get laid off after all those years. And contemplating what now? And saying to myself that I never thought I would be here, and that I was angry at myself for not having a plan B. And that's when, so let me preface that with, I bought my first 3 properties at the age of 26. Technically, I've always known real estate was the way to go. How to go about it, I did not know. And I did it all wrong. My ex-husband and I bought the 3 properties with our own monies. We got a blanket mortgage. We used our own credit cards to fix them up. We did the sweat equity. And then we put friends and family into those units. All wrong, right? And when I was beating myself up for not having a plan B, that's when I realized, I do have a plan B. And my passion has always been real estate investing. But if you do it wrong the first time, you're going to get cold feet. You're going to be trigger shy. And I was making good money in IT. So was my husband, or still is. And we didn't need to do something different. But all of a sudden now I did. And so I was all alone in my office upstairs when I had that aha moment, and I realized now's the time to get back into real estate.
And you're glad you did?
I am so glad I did. I can never go back.
Oh, you can never go back. Okay, wonderful. So, Cynthia, great story, and I'm sure many JOB basically you got fired from your JOB, and that was like a turning moment for you, and you're glad you are in this one. So based on your experience of working in the real estate, what are the top 3 missteps to avoid to grow your real estate portfolio?
Number 1 is the first mistake that I made was trying to do it based on my limited knowledge and thinking I knew enough. Now, eventually I did get another job in IT before I decided to do this full time, but because I had made mistakes, I was trigger shy. And I thought, well, I need to get educated. I need to be surrounded by either get a mentor, so forth and so on, or be surrounded by people who knew what to do. But what I found was that the majority of people that I connected with they didn't have the time. They would commit to mentoring me, or they didn't have the time, or they just did not have my best interest at heart. And so I thought, okay, let me seek real estate investing education. And so I actually found a community that's national. Well, first of all, I went to every workshop, every boot camp, every 3-day intensive. I bought every course, every tape you can name online. It goes as far back as Culture Sheets. If that means anything to anyone who's ever tried to learn real estate investing, you know that name. And so that's how long I've been looking. That's how far back this goes. And what I found was good information, but it did not speak to my learning style. I think I needed the hands-on. I needed someone I could pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? And so I found this community, and it spoke to my learning style immediately. The very night that I went to the meeting and saw what was being offered, I knew, number one, it was based on, just like if I go to University of Phoenix, I'm not going to, in engineering, I'm not going to be told this is how you engineer a product, go do it. I'm going to start with the basics and the foundational support of what that project will entail. And this is how this education is set up. And so I was able to get started, get plugged in with them. But before I got plugged in, I thought, I'm not going to pay for education. I'm going to go out and do it. I can figure out what I need to do. I'm a smart girl. I can figure this out. And I went on YouTube University, and I found as much information as I thought I needed to do this particular transaction. And I probably knew 95, even maybe 98% of what I needed to know. It was the 2 to 5% that I did not know that cost me 30 grand. And I tried to do that transaction with no help, no community, no mentor, no training, no education, and I lost $30,000. So tell me how much that cost me. Rather you pay for the education or you pay for the ignorance and the lack of education. Either way, you're going to pay. I promise you, you're going to pay. Even if you are not unsuccessful the first time, the mistake that you make and the things that you do along the way, you're going to spend more money than you need to if you're educated. And so I doubled back, purchased the education, and it has just been literally an uphill battle ever since then. From day one, before I even did a close on my first transaction, my husband and I saved almost $24,000 in taxes based on one class that I took. And that was something I did not know.
$24,000 in taxes before?
Just shy of $24,000.
Oh my, that's why it's kind of found money, gone to Uncle Sam, hey, come on, give me back my money.
Yeah, that's free money, absolutely.
Yeah. No, thank you, Cynthia. That's a great. In fact, I just happened to be today. I was speaking to one entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, they kind of think know it all.
Yes.
We all know people, and they had a little dispute with another business owner. One of their client at $10,000. They say, "Can you help me?" I say, "Okay, what kind of services you have signed with this client?"
Uh-huh.
Here's the proposal. We send it. There's nothing, no signed. I say proposal doesn't mean anything. Does someone has signed anything? Because until you sign ink those dotted line, it's not agreed. It
Right.
could be just a draft.
Right.
And the other client is saying, I never even got anything what you delivered to me. There's nothing written.
Right. Right.
$10,000. That's a little mistake. So we all pay. I love the word. We all pay for the mistakes. This.
Absolutely.
She never asked me anything to sign. Blah blah blah. That means one line is like
crazy.
Crazy. Little things have a huge impact once you don't do it right, especially the bad ones. So Cynthia, this is all kind of bad mistakes, ignorance, and so let's change side of the table now. Give us some top 3 success secrets. We want to get into the positive side. I know we already know so much going on in our lives. So what are the top 3 success secrets to be a successful real estate investor?
Okay, that's an interesting question, because in the interim, in the midst of realizing I didn't know all I needed to know, I went to a women's retreat in Florida. And at the end of that retreat, we had three of the three oldest women in the room who were professional women, a panel discussion. And so we could ask any question of any of those. And the one who answered my question happened to be the city manager for a small city in Florida. And my question was, I'm getting into real estate blind. What would be your greatest advice to me? And I'll never forget Ms. Ruth. And she, again, city manager, and she said, get educated, get a mentor, and get a coach. She said, now the mentor is someone, and she explained what a mentor is. And then she said, a coach is someone that you're going to pay to help you become successful. It is worth its weight in gold. She said, any athlete, any pro athlete, sometimes semi-pro and high school and college athletes, any entertainer, anyone who is good at what, and she named a few, and I won't right here, but she named a few. When asked if they had a coach, they said, no, I have several. So I would say to anyone, number one, don't be afraid to invest in yourself and realize you need an education, you need a mentor, and you need a coach. And then follow what they say do. If they're successful, now don't take advice about swimming from someone who's drowning, right? Obviously. But if these people are successful in where you want to be, they've already been where you want to go, follow their advice.
So you're saying learn from the practitioners, people who actually do what they're teaching, basically, not like just someone, just a coach and they never done anything themselves, you know?
Contrary to what most people know, when we go to the 3-day intensives, we go to the gurus who fly in and fly out. A lot of them we see on TV.
Yeah.
The people in front of the rooms are packed. I've been to them, I know.
Yeah.
Those people in front of the rooms are not practitioners. They do not do real estate. They are salespeople. They're hired to pump you up, hype you up. You have the rah-rah, shish kumbaya sessions. You feel great. You're energized. Their job is to get that energy up in the room to get you excited about purchasing. They do not know real estate. And you will not ever sit down with the person who really does know real estate. It does not matter. Well, technically you will if you pay another $30,000.
Yeah.
Again, been to them, I know how they operate. And I unfortunately paid the money that did not net me any profits. So far, with what I'm doing here, I have realized 201% as of today only, which this is an infinite rate of return because I will be here for life, but I've already realized a 201% return on my investment.
201% return on the ROI?
201%
Yeah.
ROI.
So you are good in math. You got the exact number. So that's good. So
I was
Cynthia,
in finance for 17 years.
wonderful. That's good. So Cynthia, how are you growing your real estate portfolio? Just share with us if you like to share what type of transactions you have done.
Remember when we first got started, I talked about being laid off. Within 2 months of me being laid off, my husband was laid off. So we were in IT. IT took a nosedive. It was hard for either of us to get a job. It took me 9 months to get back into my field, and it took him a little less than 6. So we burned through credit cards, 401k, IRAs, savings. We burned through it very quickly. Plus, we moved here to Georgia because I got a job offer here. And then there was a hiring freeze the day she took my package, my offer letter, to be signed by her director. So we had purchased a house here based on me thinking I had a job here, but we had not sold our house in Overland Park, Kansas. Oh gosh. So needless to say, we also paid, and it took that house 9 months to sell. We paid 2 mortgages for 9 months. When I say burned through money really quickly, it was very, very dark and very ugly. And because of that, we need to recoup our retirement plans. The greatest retirement plan is real estate. And so buy and hold is my strategy.
Someone who doesn't know buy and hold, what does that mean? Just
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, what that means is you purchase a property, you may even have to do a little bit of work to it to make it rent ready, and you put tenants in it. Based on the knowledge that I have now, I'm not a landlord. I don't have to worry about tenants, toilets, and taxes. I have learned what I need to know in order to maximize how I rent to certain people and who I rent to. And so it's not like my grandparents and my parents did. I thought they were real estate investors when actually they were just landlords. They'd buy a house, they'd put people in it. Again, it was usually family friends or friends of friends. And it was always, I don't have the rent, or the toilet broke down in the middle of the night, and you've got to deal with all those things. And I know how not to deal with that.
Wonderful. So how are you growing your retail portfolio right now?
For me, it's buy and hold. Right now, I'm looking at a very large multifamily complex that will take us over the top. It will be a game changer. So we're in negotiations with that now, but definitely making sure that we have cash flow.
Wonderful.
Because that's what you want. You want cash flow.
What would you like to give an advice to people who are watching this right now? They have a job, stable job, happy for 10 years, 20 years, have a big, nice home, big mortgage, and pay tens of thousands of dollars of interest to bank mortgages, things. And they don't want to run like, another business. They don't feel they have no time anymore. Life is kind of going great.
Sure.
And cozy. What would you like to say to them?
So most of my warm market are those people. Most of the people in my inner circle, my church, my friends, my family, they have good jobs, they have big mortgages, they have good credit, they live well, they don't have a need, they're not laid off, never been laid off in their lives, they don't have the need that I had to make a change. But what I do say to those people is that if you're living well now, so the education that I chose to purchase and the community that I work with, we don't just want to create real estate investors. We want to show you how to maximize your monies after you become an investor. What is the best way to do it? And so we teach classes and have strategies that the 2% have used for decades, one of which is how to pay less in taxes, how to pay less in interest, and how to keep more of your own income. That class is going to teach people who don't want to change, or they don't want to change the job they're doing. They don't want to stop what they're doing. They don't want to leave their jobs and fire their boss, but they can, and most don't know it, they can maximize how they live with the income that they have now. It is almost magic. It is an absolute incredible strategy to use the bank's money to pay the bank. How about that?
Yeah, well, not even your own money. You're using a bank's money.
Most people have heard of OPM, but nobody ever really thinks about the other people being the bank. And so we do have a strategy in a class to legally and ethically and beautifully pay off a 30-year mortgage in 7 to 13 years, I'll say, without doubling up on your payments, without changing your lifestyle, without stopping to eat out and stopping your vacationing with your family and stop shopping and so forth and so on. You don't have to tighten the belt like Susie Orman, love her, Dave Ramsey, love him, but their strategies are for the masses. Their strategies, I would say, are pretty standard. And most of us don't want to just be standard.
Yeah.
We don't even think about it, but we really don't. We want to be above average. And this is a way to do it for the above average mindset.
Above average mindset, top 5%, top 2%. So,
right.
Cynthia, so we meet here in Atlanta, in case you don't know, you're watching this, and how I get to meet Cynthia is from that community. In fact, I was sitting on the other side and just learning from her. And you know what, I like how she was presenting everything. Then I outreached to her, I said, why not? You have a beautiful message. An amazing way how you present everything. Why not come on the show and actually share it? So Cynthia, thank you for saying yes, and I'm sure people will love this one. So Cynthia, we meet in Atlanta, and when I was looking at it, there are 50. Our community is in 52 cities all over the United States, in 27 states, in 52 cities. So your people can attend anywhere in the United States in any meeting, basically just after registering.
Anywhere in the U.S., reach out to me, reach out to Siddique. We will connect you wherever, based on where you are. And if by chance there is not a community and a meeting where you live, we will bring the meeting to you. With what you would see in front of the room, we can actually send you a webinar, and we'll be on the webinar with you so that you can get your questions answered. So you still get the same information.
Wonderful, wonderful. Cynthia, thank you so much. As we are about to wrap up, what would you say as a final word?
I'm excited to be here. I hope that I've added value to your show and your interview process. And I hope that I have enlightened someone to not be standard, to be above average, to seek out the things that you don't already know. Lots of times we think we know it all, and we think that we've done it all well because we live well. Suppose there's more. Seek
Wonderful.
out more. Yes.
Seek out, seek out. Today's word is seek out. So thank you so much, Cynthia Calhoun, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Show community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is
You are so welcome.
This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia, wishing you good luck, good sales. I do hope our path cross again with another amazing guest. Until then, all best wishes.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.